Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You're here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. Today I've got, I think this was my second match in the Kronshtadt. First match down tier didn't go so well. So here we are. We're on the Atlantic. It's capture the base match. You can see we do have aircraft carriers, got a couple of Fletchers on the enemy team. And we're here in the Tier 8 Soviet Premium Cruiser. Heavy cruiser slash battle cruiser slash pocket battleship. The Kronshtadt, it's got 305mm guns, if I'm remembering correctly. The range is about 18.4 kilometers. Like most of these ships, you're kind of getting battleship guns on a cruiser body. So you'll just have to make your judgment on how good it is here. We'll have some interesting things happen. At least I think they're interesting. Gonna pop some shots at the Richelieu out there. And there's one of the destroyers. Now when I'm looking at the minimap, 3-4 enemy ships over here. And right now, just kind of me over here. The destroyer turned into the middle. The carrier's kind of at the rear. So I was like, I'm not going 1 versus 3. So let's shoot at the enemy Kronshtadt instead. Giving us this nice, beautiful broadside. I don't know if he realized I was shooting at him. We disable a turret there. Only 1 true penetration. So we're doing all we can to boost the armor-piercing power of this ship. And we'll go over that in the port. We'll put up our spy plane just to make sure we're not being encroached upon by any torpedoes. Also, I'm really trying to spot the Kronshtadt, who's still broadside. And that second salvo, you can see grouping and dispersion. But we do get a good Citadel hit. And 3 penetrations. That kind of tripped me out for a minute. Now there are 5 hit markers. 5 different things that can happen to your shells. Great. Alright, another salvo at the Kronshtadt. Even though he was out of sight, we get a couple more pens there. I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you, I don't know what the 5th one is for. Penetration, ricochet, overpen, shatter. I don't know what the 5th one is for. Enemy fighter, bomber, AG bombers, they're moving in. We do have an airplane up, so let's see if it'll do anything. Still looking for the Kronshtadt. Can't really see him out there. We do get strafed. But look at that. Our fighter plane did shoot down an enemy plane. So unlike some ships, your fighter plane on this ship can actually shoot down a carrier-based aircraft in air-to-air combat. Alright, again, I would really love some spotting, and I'm just not getting it. So we'll shoot at this Weimar. Admittedly, probably not a great shot. Oh, there he is. There's the Kronshtadt. Let's get our reload on here. Don't know if he's going forward or back. So we'll aim right for the middle. And again, right now, I'm not really being targeted by anybody except the carrier, so another 3 Citadel hits, pardon me, in our first kill. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy about that, although, admittedly, the Kronshtadt did not put up much of a fight. Alright, flinging some shells at the mass out here. Gonna have some interesting shots in on the Massachusetts later on, so please keep watching. Some good pens there. Weimar, can we get some shots here? He's hiding behind the island. We'll throw some out there anyway, just to see what happens. Still not really being targeted. Alright, there's our first salvo from the Weimar. Here's a salvo from the Mass. I think it's going to hurt. I'll tell you, this ship has a weird armor arrangement, folks. It really does. Very weird. We're going to engage one of our heels here. as we fling some more shells at the Mass. Citadel hit on the Massachusetts. I'm not unhappy that that happened. I'm just not sure how it happened. Plymouth out here. We'll send some shells his way as well. And as you can see, there's a destroyer over here. Citadel hit on the Plymouth, although it didn't do a ton of damage. And looks like he's adjusting his heading a little bit, but we're still going to shoot a second round at him. Hopefully the Massachusetts will leave us alone while we do that. Another good set of shell there on the Plymouth, but no Citadel hit that I was hoping for. Here looks like he's coming more broadside, and I did not aim these shells far enough ahead, which you all saw. So it probably could have been a kill. Is not a kill because I'm a moron, and now he's dead, or will be dead very shortly. All right, still got the Mass and one Fletcher over here. We'll pop some shots at the Mass. I see I'm approaching the boundary, so I'm going to turn to port. Again, more shells hit the Massachusetts. Not sure they did a ton of damage, but that is what it is. All right. I fixed my black screen issue, by the way. I had to adjust the power settings. If you're running on battery power, don't set your screen to go to sleep after a minute. Or you'll be like me going, why is my screen going blank? By the way, we're over 100,000 damage, folks. So in the Kronshtadt, you won't have any problem dealing damage unless you are being punished by a lot of enemy guns. That's what happened to me in the Legendary Tier match. Essentially, I couldn't get in my main battery range before being absolutely ruined by the Legendary Tier enemies. There, our destroyer sailed directly into some torpedoes. I don't recommend that. Good safety tip. All right, Massachusetts coming around the corner. And we've got our front two turrets ready. Rear turret is coming around the mountain. Mass is coming around the mountain. And we can get this third turret turned. Not that I intend to engage the Massachusetts from this profile. But you can also see the Fletcher is out there. We put up our plane. You get some good pens there on the Massachusetts. So again, even though they're 305s, no problem getting penetrations. And not necessarily an ideal angle of the Massachusetts. That was a poorly aimed shot, but it's good enough for a kill. So why would I complain? All right, we are going to guess that the Fletcher commander is going to charge straight at us and try to do a torp run. But clearly, as you can see, that's probably not going to work out. All right, off screen in the other part of the game, the blue team is beating up the red team. Red team 4 ships left, blue team 6 ships left. So we are well on our way to victory. Now, is this an aberration? Maybe. You know, obviously somebody like Metajerk gets a couple Krakens in this thing, no problem. I think the average player, if you can reduce the amount of ships shooting at you, expose yourself to just one enemy ship's gunfire, you will have the ability, like I did in this game, to do some damage. The guns didn't have any problem penetrating Massachusetts, so all but the most heavily armored and angled targets you should be able to pen. I think the AA defense is a little weak, which is why I put the fighter plane on there. The radar is great, but you got to be able to use it. I mean, don't just hit it to hit it. You got to hit it to know that there's something in the radar range and that you and your teammates will be able to shoot at that. So I think it's fair. Jury's still out a little bit on the shell grouping and dispersion. I personally didn't notice any shell grouping and dispersion problems, but again, a lot of our salvos, or at least half of this damage, was on a broadside Kronshtadt that wasn't trying to evade or angle in any way. So keep that in mind. I definitely would recommend either Kuznetsov or maybe the cartoon commander. I can't think of his name. Ivan B. Delightful. I'm sorry, that name's stupid as hell. That guy. Simply because you could use him because the reload is long enough to where it might actually be beneficial to drop spot in the ship. Alright, here's the enemy carrier who sailed over here to help me get a kill. As you can see there, 2,000 damage. We unlocked high caliber, so what have my teammates been doing all match? I don't know. You know, but I'm just going bow on, not that I need to, but practicing the fundamentals, make myself a small torpedo target. There's a good hit in another citadel. We'll put up our fighter plane. We're going to eat a torpedo here, maybe. Oh, we ate it before it turned active. Alright, now we're going to turn to get these turrets on target. By turning, I threw off my own main battery. So we do get another good hit there. Final turret coming around. And, of course, kill pinched before I can get the shells on target. And thus endeth the match. Alright, there's going to be a lot of these milestone things here, so just bear with me. I didn't think it was that great of a game. Anyway, we ended up with the high caliber medal, 142,740 total damage. We did shoot down 5 airplanes, 2 kills, 7 hits to Citadel, and we ended up with just short of 350,000 silver, 6209 ship XP and commander XP in the Kronshtadt. So whether you think that's a good game, an aberration based on what I had to deal with there, I don't know, that's up to you. Anyway, we didn't even finish at the top of the board. Peter Baggs at the top of the board. Kronshtadt finished second, 2299 base XP with those 2 big hills. And team effort. Team effort. Everybody chipped in and did damage, and almost everybody got a kill, you know. So, good times. It's a relief to not have to do all the heavy lifting. All right. Let's go into the port and take a look at this ship. All right. Here we are in the port. Upgrades. Aiming systems mod 1. Steering gears mod 2. Steering gears mod 3. And gunfire control system mod 2. Wouldn't blame me if you use concealment mod in slot 3, but rudder shift's pretty bad. Alright, unlimited damage cons. You got your choice of 2 radars or 2 defensive AA fires. I would never choose 2 defensive AA fires. We also run 2 repair parties and 3 catapult fighters. I guess there isn't any other option besides catapult fighter. My bad. Radar, 11.7 kilometers, 21-second duration. We're using the Epic Battle Booster for main battery range and movement speed. Got this Type 9 permanent camo and the Kronshtadt flag, which appears to be some type of seabird with a golden apple balanced on its head. Very interesting. Maybe an osprey. 71,050 hit points and a 25% torpedo damage reduction with our build. Got those 3x3 305mm turrets. Wow, holy underestimation. 20.1 kilometer firing range. 17.2 second reload. 35.3 second turn time. HE shells, 4,200 damage with a 24% fire chance. AP shells, 9,900 damage. 2 sets of secondaries. The range on both is 5.2 kilometers. First set of 4x2 100s reloads every 3.8 seconds. Does 1,400 HE shell damage with a 6% fire chance. Second set of 4x2 152s reloads every 8 seconds. Does 2,200 HE shell damage with a 12% fire chance. AA defense, you can see that first set of secondaries is dual purpose and does count as AA, but the AA is very short range and not high damage per second. I think it's below average. Just one man's opinion. All right. with this build, our maneuverability rating is 68, max speed 34.5 knots with that booster flag, 840-meter turning circle, 7.2-second rudder shift time, concealment 14 on the surface, 8.8 from the air, 11.4 when firing in smoke. Not convinced I won't swap that third mod from steering gears to concealment at some point. Taking a look at the armor viewer. Well, there's not a lot to like here. All right, you got this weird 3-part citadel. Only the middle part, I think, is the true citadel. I don't know if these the front and rear portions can be quote-unquote citadeled. 25-millimeter bow with no icebreaker, no kind of armor belt whatsoever. That is disappointing. Putting on the side plate here, you can see behind that front and rear part, or between it, pardon me, 230-millimeter armor belt, and then it should be a 30-millimeter armor plating down the side. Sorry, hit the wrong button there. Turrets and barbettes, that's not great at this level, in my opinion. Not sloped very well either. Casemate armor, again, 230-millimeter armor belt going up the side, 90-millimeter deck. Whoopie-doo. You're going to get set on fire. You're going to get crushed if you're broadside here in the Kronshtadt. That citadel just really trippy to me. Anyway, it says large gunship. Designated as a heavy cruiser, but more of a battle cruiser. Right. All right, here's our Commander Nikolai Kuznetsov. We got Von Essen and Yamamoto as our inspirations. Just trying to help that armor piercing out. And this is also what I use in the Stalingrad. Follow the Sun increases the main battery range. We got Beyond Range, Intuitive, Punch Through, Fixated, and Refill Station. That's how I run the Kronshtadt, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. I'll see you next time.